In a quiet Florida neighborhood at 9:17 p.m., 29-year-old Marcy Bell Lewis answered her door. 30 minutes later, she was gone. No signs of struggle, no forced entry, and the only video footage revealed something far more disturbing than a break-in. She rarely partied. She had no known enemies, and she lived in a safe neighborhood where the most serious crime in years had been a mailbox theft. On August 14, 2022, everything changed. Marcy arrived home at 8:57 p.m. after running errands. Security footage shows her carrying a grocery bag, unlocking her door, and stepping inside. Nothing unusual. At 9:17 p.m., her doorbell rang. This was the last moment Marcy was ever seen alive. Police later confirmed this was not a delivery driver, not a neighbor, not anyone Marcy knew. At 11:06 p.m., Marcy's best friend called police after getting no response. Officers entered the apartment and found everything disturbingly normal. There were no signs of a struggle, no broken glass, no overturned furniture, and yet Marcy was gone. Investigators reviewed the doorbell footage frame by frame. The figure at the door stood completely still for 18 seconds before stepping out of view. She opened the door, she spoke to the person, and then she stepped outside, willing. The first suspects were predictable: ex-boyfriend, co-worker, neighbor. All were cleared, but something strange emerged from Marcy's phone logs. A number that texted her repeatedly was not saved in her contacts, and the messages had been deleted. When detectives pulled Marcy's phone records, they discovered the number belonged to a prepaid device purchased earlier that week. The phone had only one function: contact Marcy. But the real shock came when investigators accessed Marcy's cloud backups. Inside her phone were dozens of photos taken through her windows at night while she slept. Forensics swept Marcy's apartment and discovered something chilling: tiny wireless cameras hidden in her bedroom vent and kitchen smoke detector. Whoever installed them knew her schedule, her habits, when she was alone. A neighbor mentioned someone new, a delivery driver who had been lingering outside Marcy's building weeks before she vanished. His truck's GPS placed him near Marcy's apartment, even on days he had no deliveries. Police obtained a search warrant for the driver's home and vehicle. Inside his truck, they found a duplicate of Marcy's apartment key, tools capable of installing hidden cameras, and a notebook containing her daily routines. This was not a random crime. This was obsession. After 12 hours in interrogation, the driver confessed. He'd seen Marcy once while delivering a package and became fixated. He admitted to stalking her for months, following her, recording her, and finally showing up at her door pretending to need help. Marcy stepped outside to help him. He forced her into his vehicle and drove away within seconds. Neighbors heard nothing. Her remains were found 5 days later in a wooded area. Her family finally had answers. Her killer was sentenced to life in prison. Marcy Bell Lewis was kind, private, and trusting, and she crossed paths with someone who studied every detail of her life. Not every monster breaks doors. Some simply ring the bell.